This is day 4 of my North Coast 500 cycling adventure, and parts of this ride were absolutely brilliant. On the start of the ride I had Cape Wrath on the left, and I was working my way steadily down a fantastic glacial valley towards Durness. I actually bumped into a senior couple who were on a tandem. Now, they'd been camping in a field overnight and it was really cold that night, so fair play to them. And these people, they'd cycled all over Europe, they'd cycled to Russia, and in fact they'd cycled all the way up to this part of Scotland from Lincoln through some pretty horrendous weather the week before, so I don't know how on earth they did it. I'd say one of the highlights was cycling around Loch Eriboll, which was just absolutely stunning. The ride was 86 miles and there was about 6,500 feet of climbing, and some of it was really tough with really bad headwinds, and I think at one point I did actually lose the plot. I had a moment at a bus shelter, and apparently it's the only bus shelter anywhere on that road. I have made a full feature-length film of my North Coast 500, so in this film there'll be footage from the car, with the GoPro mounted on the bonnet, or footage from the GoPro that I carried with me. This was a tough stage, and I'd say more mentally demanding than the physical side of things. Anyway, sit back and enjoy the ride. I've kept this section in the video because this was so remote, and it felt just like cycling up in the Pennines, although you're on the real top northern part of Scotland. I think we were between Borgie Glen, Betty Hill, and maybe Invernava. All day long I've been struggling with real horrible headwinds, and I dare say on a good day with a good strong westerly wind you'll probably get some real speed up along here, but you know, you're having to work really hard to try and get 25 miles an hour out of the bike, maybe 30 miles an hour. And I think in this shot here, it's quite a long shot, and the car gives you an idea of how isolated you really are. Not many cars are on the road, and you're trying to just get by, you know, ticking the miles off. And if you do get some downhill sections, you can freewheel, you can have a rest, or you can make the ground up. And the difficulty you've got is when you've got the headwind and you're trying to make the ground up, you're actually working hard, burning calories, and you've got a fine balance between how much energy you want to use fighting the wind and how you can be efficient and try and conserve some energy just to get there and always enjoy the ride. And it was on this section of the coast, you could say I had a meltdown. It wasn't a meltdown really. I played up for the cameras, I laid it on big time. But at the end of the day, you know, you are in the middle of nowhere and you're just trying to get to where you need to be. I was heading to Thurso and it just couldn't come quick enough for me. So to break that moment up where my mind was starting to stray a bit and wander, I thought, right, let's go and get in that bus shelter and let's have a real rant and rave, get it out of the system, then you can just enjoy the final leg in, which, yeah, in the end I did do. It was a fantastic ride at the end of the day. When I look back now, thoroughly enjoyed it. But while you're doing it, you can have bad days, you can have off days. I don't tend to have off days, I just tend to, I need to be stimulated. And on this section, I think the wind and the terrain, I wasn't getting that stimulation. It was just a battle, it was a slog. And that's where your mind has to come into it. You have to be mentally quite strong. You've had a lot of mileage in the legs beforehand, so you become task orientated rather than really relishing that challenge, the adventure. I think that's the rough with the smooth really, but as ever, if there's a camera there and you're feeling that way out, you can have a rant and a rave, and people can judge you on that later. Okay, we're about 25 miles from Thurso, in the middle of a bleak, open moor. There's the road. Windy, fresh. I'm just having a breather. I'm gonna have a rant. Yeah, let's have a rant for a minute. I'm in between Betty Hill and Thurso, and this bit is just doing my head in. It's just relentless, up and down, long slogs and headwind, crappy downhills. I'm not going quick, I'm pedalling hard to go 9 miles an hour. I've not felt like this since leaving Cornwall with my panniers into a headwind. That's how bad it feels right now. My average speed's 12 miles an hour. 66 miles at 12 miles an hour. Pathetic. Them sections way back over there, near the lochs and the glens and the Kyles, were fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But this bit here, I need to get it out of the way as soon as possible. And I think if you're doing this ride at some point and you're on this bit near Thurso, feel welcome to drop me a link below if you feel the same way I'm feeling right now. If you've got this silly headwind coming this way, and just look, it's just roads like this, and they go on, then they go up, then they go down, and it's hard work. Right, anyway, I've said my bit. We've got a ride to do. Come on, let's get going. tough ride.